All right, for Monday, we're doing lesson 2.3 in math, and it's using arrays to find the total. We're going to watch this visual learning first.
You can model repeated addition to find the total with an array. Arrays have equal rows. In an array, each row has the same number of objects. How many strawberries are in each row of this array?
Select your answer.
How many strawberries are in each row? So there's 1, 2, 3 in that row, and there's 1, 2, 3 in that row. Those 3 in each.
Each row has 3 strawberries. Arrays have equal columns. In an array, each column has the same number of objects. How many strawberries are in each column of this array?
Select
your answer.
So columns go up and down, and it wants to know in each column how many there are. 2. There's 2 in each column.
Each column has 2 strawberries. You can use repeated addition to write 2 equations that match the array.
With repeated addition, you add the same number again and again.
Two rows have 3 strawberries each. You can add the berries in each row to find the total number of berries in the array. You can count by rows. The equation that you write is 3 plus 3 equals 6. 3 columns have 2 strawberries each. You can add the berries in each column to find the total number of berries in the array. Or you can count by columns. The equation that you write is 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. What is the same in these 2 equations?
I only see one thing that's the same. Well, I see 2 things. They're both addition, and they both have the same sum.
The 2 equations have the same sum. There are 6 strawberries in the array. Now you know how to use an array to find the total.
Okay, so we're going to find lesson 2.3 in our math pages. Oops, let me go back up here. And we're going to find 2 different ways to find out how many circles there are. So, let me grab a pen. First, I want you to circle the rows. And remember, rows go across like you're rowing a boat across the stream. So there's 1 row, 2 rows, whoops, 3 rows. All right, so we have 3 rows. How many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do 5 for the first row. This row has 5. 5 for the second row. This row has 5. 5 for the third row. What does that equal? Well, we know 5 plus 5 is 10. And what is 10 plus 5 more? 15. There's another way to figure this out. Instead of doing the rows, we're going to do columns this time. You don't have to erase yours, okay? I want you to actually leave your rows circled. Mine's just getting messy, but leave your rows circled And then we will use a different color to go over our columns. Okay. Now remember, columns go up and down, like tall columns on a building. So we have one column, two columns, three columns, four columns, and five columns. How many are in each column? Three. So we would write 3 for the first column plus 3 for the second column plus 3 for the third column plus, oh my, 3 for the next column and 3 for the fifth column. That's a bunch of threes. If you can count by threes, you've got it made. But we know that 3 plus 3 is what? 6. And here's another 3 plus 3, so that's another 6. So what's 6 plus 6? 12. So now we all these four are 12, and we just have to put 12 in our head and count up 3 more, these 3. 12, 13, 14, 15, and it still comes to 15. The number of circles haven't changed, just the way we counted them changed, right? The number of circles is still the same. So here's the strawberry one we saw. Is this group an array? Do all of the rows have the same number, and do all of the columns have the same number? No, right? Because this one doesn't have a partner. This is an odd number. So no, whoops, don't have a pen. Bloop, bloop. No. You can pick one. You can say columns or rows. I'm going to say rows. The rows don't. So much harder to write like this. Have. Hopefully yours is neater than mine. The same number. So therefore it's not an array. That first row, we can't count that as 2 as a column, and we can't count it as 5 as a row. So it makes this whole thing not an array. Arrays have to have the same number in rows and columns. Trying to make a period. Okay, so let's look here. Has the same number in the rows, it has 4. Has the same number in the columns, it has 2. So if you're writing it by the rows, you're going to tell me how many are in each row. There's 4 in the first row, and there's 4 in the second row, and that equals 8. If you're doing it by columns, each one has 2, and there's 4 of them. So there's 1, well, my goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, each has 2 in it. 2, 4, 6, 8, that equals 8. Okay, so your job is to figure out by rows. Rows go this way. And then figure out by columns how many are in the array and write the 2 math problems, okay? On this page, you probably have some more of those. Yep, you sure do, okay? And we usually have a few story problems in the back. Sure do. So I want you to work on lesson 2.3 today, and then go do your quick check. And then, I'm gonna hold this up, hopefully you can see it. You have an array package in your red folder. The first page is just a reminder about what rows are and what columns are. And I want you to complete page 1, and all you have to do is circle the rows and columns there and tell me how many of each there are, and page 2. Okay? You don't even have to do any math. You just have to find the rows and columns and tell me how many there are of each. Okay? Very good.